Hi, my name is Nicole Ryan, and I'm here to talk about the EasyGrade Pro software and how it can help you stay organized in the classroom. So let's get started. We may remember our teachers recording our grades in a paper gradebook such as this, or keeping a seating chart in a spiral-bound book that had little boxes that contain the students' names. Keeping records in this manner is very time-consuming, and as a result, it can even affect your classroom management. For example, when I was in elementary school, I remember always wanting to move seats. Asking my teacher every week, can we do it, and the response always was, I'm sorry, I forgot, let's do it next week. Now I can say that as an adult, looking at this chart, if I saw this and realized that I had to erase everybody's name and start over or white it out if you messed up or forgot somebody because they were absent the day that you were doing the seating chart, this would be really frustrating, and I probably would never move my students around in the classroom, but that's not benefiting them. So that is why I'm going to talk to you about why the EasyGrade Pro software can be beneficial. The first thing is that it's time saving. Time is something that we lack in our society, and we're always trying to find a way to get more. We never have enough time in the day. The next thing is that it's easy to use. This is great because you can implement using this software in your classroom at any point. So whether you want to do it in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, or wherever you're at in your classrooms now, you can go ahead and start using a software such as this. I would definitely recommend that it would be more beneficial to start using a software in the very beginning of the school year, just because then you can put everybody into the program all at once and not having to go back, or you're only getting half of the picture because of the grading. You've already done grades in one grade book and then having to start over in this. So it would be helpful just to have it all in one spot. The other thing is it keeps it organized because all the information is right there. So you can do attendance records, you can keep track of seating charts, behavior issues, personal information such as a student's email. So it's great to keep everything in one spot. Next, I want to tell you of who the main audience that this program is trying to target. So I would say that it's for anybody in the educational field. You don't have to be a teacher to use it. You can be a principal. You could even be the secretary. It's great if everyone's kind of all on the same page with one software, just so that way you can give records back and forth really easily. So I would say that could be for anybody, whether you're multiple subjects, single subject. It can be used in the elementary level or even at the university. This software can help you become more successful as an educator by giving you the tools that you need to be an effective communicator. You can give the students rapid feedback. This is perfect for the parents' benefit because all you have to do is pull up your program, and if they say, I want to know where my student's at in the class, or are they turning everything in, you can just go ahead and send them an email with what you have inside your grade book, and it just pretty much gives them a day-to-day look without having to go back through and manually try to figure out what their grade is, or if you don't have the grades inputted, you don't have to do any sort of adding and taking that time. So it's definitely a good source for record keeping. What I love about this is that you can customize this program to meet your needs, and you can do that by putting in the students' pictures, so that way when you pull up their profile, you can see their picture and know exactly who we're talking about. This is helpful at the high school level because when you have 6 periods and you're trying to manage all of your students, it puts a name to a face, and this can help you when you need the information fast. It's not that you don't know who the student is, but sometimes that picture can give you more memory recall when you get busy as a teacher, and so that's perfect from this aspect that you can customize it. Now I know that I've given you a lot of information all at once, so I just want to take a step back and have you look at my desktop here. If you notice, it's pretty well organized. There's not a lot of papers or grade logs, nothing too messy all over it. I must say I wish my desk at home looked like this, but it doesn't. So in order for us to create a space like this within our classroom, we need to be able to use a software that can take care of this for us. So that's why, the main thing that I would love for you to take away from my presentation is that as future educators, we must take a serious look at these tools to help us organize our classroom. we need to look at these now and consider things that we might want to use. See, this is going to help our students transition into our classrooms much easier than if we didn't. We need to focus on how to be effective, and so that's why we need to look at different softwares that can help us with our classroom management skills now, so that way they know what to expect walking in our doors. I don't want you just to take my word for it, so that's why I'm going to show you the facts. Now, one thing I forgot to mention was that my main focus of my presentation was supposed to be on the Easy Grade Pro software. However, in my research, I found that it's not the most effective program, and it was very difficult to find information on it because you had to pay for a lot of it. So I'm going to show you an alternative to the Easy Grade program, which is called Gradebook Pro. So we'll just take a closer look at it. And I want you to see that this is an app. You can download this from any app store, whether you've got Android or Apple, and it is $10. I know that sounds like it could be a lot, but it is worth every penny. You can share your gradebook between all of your devices, so if you have a tablet, a phone, a laptop, or your work computer, you can easily enter a class roster, you can import photos, students' email addresses, you can manually input each student, or you can do it even through your iTunes sharing, or if you have a Dropbox account. This is great if you use the Dropbox feature because you can back up your files to it without losing any information, and it'll just kind of act as a hard drive, if you will, so that way you can keep everything in one spot. Now I'm going to show you a preview of what Gradebook Pro looks like in the App Store. So here's a good screenshot of it, and as you can see, there's a picture of the student's name, the overall percentage, and then the letter grade of how they're doing in the class. So this is their overall, and then if down here, if you clicked on this, it would give you a breakdown of their assignments and how they're doing on them individually. This right here is an attendance chart. So this shows you who was in, who was absent, if they were tardy, and then these are the symbols that I was talking about before, the easy symbols of, oh hey, overall, this student could use improvement, or let's give them a thumbs up because, yeah, they have been absent, but now yeah, they were late, but at least they're showing up for class. So it's really nice because the symbols are really easy to use. This right here can be used in a couple different ways. You could use it for an attendance, let's say on the high school level, if you don't need the thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing. It's just more simple. Or you could use this, let's say for a homework check, if you weren't giving a grade but you want to know, yes, they turned it in, no, they didn't, or they did, but it's missing some information. This one's like an overall, like the average, how the class is doing as a total score. And these, you can, all this stuff is customizable. So this is like for this one particular student, on average, this is their grade. This is great because I think as elementary students or teachers, we always like, at least I do, to be creative and fun and like to have visuals that are really stimulating. But I think that in the high school, even junior high level, teachers don't always need that. It's a little bit different. So this program can customize to all of the needs of any type of educator. So let's go back and now take a look at the Easy Pro software. So this software program, you can buy a license individually, and it runs about $48, which is pretty expensive considering what I just showed you for the $10 app and all that you can get in the $10 app. I was not able to get a lot of information on how the software looks like. I'll show you a chart in the next slide, but there wasn't a whole lot for me to show you hands-on wise. I looked up a YouTube video, but if I showed it to you, it would bore you to death. So this software, I would say, is geared more for if a district wanted to purchase it for all of its teachers to use. So for a district in school, it's going to run them about anywhere from $800 to $1,000, and that's a lot, especially because this program is more complex. So it's going to require more like technical support or online help. And to try to do this by yourself, if you were going to purchase something on your own, I would suggest using the Gradebook Pro app just because it's $10, it's user friendly, and it's something that you might even want to consider using in your school if they don't already have a grading system in place. You can show them the app, see if they're interested in it. If anything, maybe they'll reimburse you, but to me, I would rather give my teacher $10 for a program than $48 for a program that might not be as useful. So this one is definitely more complex. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a chart of the side-by-side of these two. So here's the Easy Grade Pro software, and look at it. It looks like an Excel spreadsheet with all of them tallied up. And I mean, you can switch back and forth to assignments. You can link standards to this. It does give you a mini summary. You can view the records, but all of this is not, like, the icons are it's really hard to get to. So it's not an out-of-the-box program that you can just start using or download it and just get going. You're going to need to use the handbook or the information guide, and that's going to take some time. And again, time is not always something that we have, so we want to consider take that into consideration. So if you look over here at Gradebook Pro, this is another teacher that formed this to their needs. So they put the student's name, their ID number, the student's email. What's great is you can put a parent email in there, so contact information, as much information is there as you want, and you can just click the buttons and send the information on its way. So if we look at both programs side by side, really they're trying to do the same thing. They're a grading tool. They're going to help you with assessments. They're going to help you with attendance. They're going to give you stuff to put your lesson plans in or match to the standards. It's a software there to help you manage all of your important classroom documents. But one is definitely, in my opinion, better than the other, and that's just because this one, Gradebook Pro, is much more easy to use. So let's go ahead and take a look at my references. I referred to the Chronicle of Higher Education because this was kind of where I got to see what people were thinking. It was like their information and comments on Easy Gradebook Pro. This is the actual Easy Gradebook Pro website, which was not all that useful. Here's the Teach Thought. I thought this was awesome. This will give you other apps that will help you with grading or assessments if you're looking specifically for a certain kind of assessment or want to modify it. That gives you a whole list of 20 different apps that you can click on and find out all information. So this would be a good tool to have inside your pocket. And I really appreciate you listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And this slide right here just kind of recaps everything that we talked about how these grading softwares can save time and help you manage all your classroom documents. If you feel free to ask me any questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for listening.